Now TikTok might be able to take on trends of a different kind with a move into e-commerce. The Wall Street Journal reports that the social media giant plans to sell Chinese-made goods in the United States. The publication said TikTok looked to find the success enjoyed by similar platforms like Shein and Temu beginning in August. According to unnamed sources, the social media platform will offer the TikTok Shopping Center, an Amazon-like marketplace which will allow users to go to one place to view and buy their goods, and TikTok, like Amazon, will act as the conduit for retailers based in China, handling all the marketing and logistics. The journal reports that Chinese suppliers will only be paid by TikTok after finding U.S customers. The plan is to increase the total net worth of transactions on TikTok from $5 billion last year to $20 billion this year, but it comes as the platform faces heightened security over users' data security. Back in April, Montana became the first U.S. state to ban the app on personal devices, and now TikTok is fighting to prevent that becoming a U.S.-wide reality. Well, I spoke to the ambassador and asked him about whether or not this move is surprising given there are so many other platforms doing something similar.
Well, I think all of the major platforms are trying to reach the ideal sweet spot where they have a dominant position not just in advertising and social, but e-commerce as well. The three are seen as mutually supportive and the ideal combination, but it's not as easy as it might sound. A number of major platforms have tried to have a success in all three areas and have failed to do so. I mean, we've seen Google that is enormous in advertising, and also has a big shopping platform that it points our users to, but it has fallen foul when it tried to get into social media with Google+. Just because you're good at one thing doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate into others, and also with Facebook, which is very good at what it does and have a dominant position in social and also in advertising. It tried to get in more heavily into e-commerce with payments with its platform Libra, and that failed abysmally and largely on the basis of trust, and this is going to be one of the areas where TikTok is really going to struggle. Well,
yeah, and of course TikTok is under even a lot more scrutiny than some of its rivals, so the question remains how successful it can be. But it also feels like they're trying to do something that X, formerly known as Twitter, is trying to do, becoming kind of a super app.
A lot of platforms really have the ambition to be a super app, but it's notable, as I showed with Google and Facebook, that they failed to make that a step. Just because you're good at one thing doesn't mean you're going to be good at everything, and we've seen that the platforms struggle in the past. When you talk about Twitter, that is an example of a platform that has been particularly bad at innovating. I mean that the Twitter experience hasn't changed a great deal for a long time, and Twitter is in desperate need of innovation.
But I guess TikTok does have a much younger, so could this actually work to attract some younger consumers?
There is some potential for them to pull this off, but they at this moment in time they have a short video platform and a set of algorithms that are working really well, and all of the other platforms are insanely jealous of the success that TikTok has had, and with various different YouTube shorts and reels and other things they're desperately trying to copy to TikTok, but without as much success. There is no guarantee, however, that TikTok is going to have success as it ventures into another area where it doesn't necessarily have the skills and the ability, and also if it can't crack the question of trust, then it's gonna fall flat in this area. And whilst there are people and antagonists in the US making arguments about our inability to trust the Chinese, when actually the US platforms are equally to blame for their data and privacy abuses, the big question arises, are consumers going to be willing to trust a Chinese platform?